Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Clydesdale Fitness and Friends, another After Dark edition as we wrap up the CrossFit Games. My name is Scott Schweitzer. I am the Clydesdale. I am your host, and we love to do fitness. And I got one friend tonight. Kat Shears with me, and we're going to break down the final results of the CrossFit Games. And a pretty stunning day, too, to finish up part one of the CrossFit Games.
Yes, very exciting. As predicted, kind of a weird lineup, minus Matt and Tia, obviously, but it's going to be interesting to see how things shake up once they get to Aromas. So,
Yeah.
What do you want to start with the ladies? Should we start with the ladies?
Yeah, let's start with the ladies.
Okay.
So, surprise, surprise, Tia Toomey wins the women's version of phase one. So she'll be going back to the games to try to win her fourth CrossFit Games title. Number two is kind of a big surprise, and it's someone that's been in the game a long time and had a lot of promise when she first entered way back in 2015. Kind of came on the scene pretty quick, and there was a lot of expectations. Now she hit it out of the park today or this weekend, and that's Brooke Wells.
Yeah, Brooke, really impressive performance. I think we mentioned last night too that her change of environment, moving to Nashville and hooking up with Will Morad, Street Horner, and some athletes that are just helping to push her and influence her in a positive way, really have paid off. I mean, she didn't go, her worst finish was 10th place in these 7 events, and she did a spectacular job. And well in second place, point wise.
Oh yeah, way in second place. And if you haven't seen the latest Buttery Bros episode, they kind of go hang out at CrossFit Trivium, is where her home is now, with Will and Street, and just kind of it shows the camaraderie between the three of them and how they work to push each other all the time.
Yeah, I'm real happy that she sort of found her people and found her happy place. It's been great for her. I hope she keeps it up. It's gonna be fun watching her train for the games now.
And I thought what was really telling is when they were asking her how Nashville was, she was like, well, I really haven't had time to go explore the city because of games training.
Right. And
so it shows where her focus is.
Yeah, she can do that in November. Right. She can visit Nashville then.
Right. So number 3 was another surprise.
Big move. Yeah.
She finished top 10 last year at the age of 18 years old. And this year she gets her second top 10 finish, now guaranteed top 5, and that's Haley Adams.
Yep. You know what? I'm just looking at the website and it's not updated.
Yeah. Ooh. I had it on my phone as we were starting,
yeah.
And it wasn't uploaded yet.
Good. I'm glad you wrote it down then. Yes, Haley Adams, so excited for her. I mean, it seems like anybody that just moves to Cookeville and trains with Rich or has anything to do with Matt or Tia is just going to be a successful person. And she's worked really hard.
Right. So this shows I didn't write it down. I was going by memory. So 4th place, I know who 5th is. 4th place.
Catherine David's daughter. Sorry, that's what I meant. So she was no one was really talking about her this weekend. And she came up with 2 first place finishes in Nasty Nancy and the handstand hold. And I think she got like second in the last event as well.
She did not. She finished 10th.
Oh, 10th in the last event. Okay.
Yeah, but she had built up. So she was 3rd coming into the final event. Haley passed her for 3rd, and she finished 4th.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, my computer's hating me right now.
And then the final spot was really between Kristen Holta, Carrie Pierce, and Cara Saunders, and Amanda Barnhart.
Yeah, they were all
and the finish for that 5th spot between 5th and 7th was 3 points.
Unreal. I was really thinking Amanda Barnhart was going to do this. I mean, she could have probably power cleaned all those cleans and cycled the barbell. I really thought she had an advantage going into this. Not really thinking about Cara Sanders, who obviously clearly, is really good at all those things too.
Who ended up winning the event by over a minute.
Yeah, so Cara won, and she got that. But it wasn't enough for her to take 5th place, and it ends up Carrie Pierce is going to be our 5th and final competitor in the finals in Aromas.
And Cara's out by 2 points, and Amanda's out by 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
And so, as you said to me when we were watching the update show, this guarantees the first time an American will be on the podium since way back, I think, to Julie Fouché.
Yeah. Yep. Julie Fouché in 2014 was the last time we had an American on the podium. And now that there are 3 American women in the top 5, one of them is, at least one is going to be on the podium, which is cool.
Yeah. So that's really awesome. And I'm sorry. And the daughter that we thought was going to be in the top 5 finished well back. She didn't have a top 10 finish until the last event. And the other daughter, who we didn't really count on making it to the top 5, is there.
Yeah, they did a little switcheroo on us for sure. But yeah, Sarah brought it that last event, and that was her best finish all weekend. So unfortunately, just a little too late.
And then we go to the men's side.
Okay.
And surprise, surprise, Matt Frazier dominated by over 100 points to win that side of it. And actually, Noah Olson was almost as far out in second as Matt was in first. Yeah. And those two seem to be clearly out in front of the rest of the field right now.
Yeah, and for people that are saying, like last year, Noah's performance at the games was kind of like a one-off thing, or, he just peaked at the right time. Clearly Noah is channeling all that energy and really doing a great job executing, which has always been sort of his weakness, right? Is execution. He's clearly has the capacity, and he just seems to be in a really good headspace right now. So I'm happy for him.
And he always seems to need that push of somebody beside him. Yeah. So the fact that he did this in an environment where he had to go by himself tells me a lot. It tells me that when it comes to games time, maybe he has one more gear to kind of hit into. So
yeah, that's exciting. I'm excited for him. And I think he was actually doing these workouts though with Travis Mayer and Chandler Smith at Training Think Tank. That's not the name of the gym, but they're in Georgia somewhere. So he did have a little bit to feed off of, and could sort of gauge timing and things like that, but still excellent performance from Noah. Very cool.
Right. And third place, another youngster, the youngest male in the competition. So third place on the women's side was the youngest female, and third place on the men's side was the youngest male. And
greatest mullet in CrossFit.
The best mullet in CrossFit.
Best mullet.
That's because you never saw mine back in the day.
Oh, but true. Okay.
But it is Justin Medeiros.
Yeah.
And he won the Filthy 150.
Yep.
Hey, I just want to let you know we have a special guest joining us. So we're going to have to just pause for a second.
Oh, look who it is.
It is the expert of all CrossFit, Charlie Odie. Charlie, what's going on?
What's up?
So
Hi.
Kat and I have kind of started down through the leaderboards.
Okay.
So we went through the women's side, and now we're just going to finish up the men's side, and then we'll get your reaction to all that.
Okay.
So now we're at fourth place for the men. And that was that Samuel Quant?
Yes, I believe so. Samuel Quant.
Right. So I'm doing this by memory because CrossFit has not updated the leaderboard on my phone. So
or on my computer.
And then the big thing was Kat's man finished 2 points out of fifth place. Chandler Smith. And fifth place went to
Jeffrey Adler.
Jeffrey
Adler.
The
open phenom.
Yeah, the national champion of Canada who beat Pat Vellner in that. Yeah, so Samuel Quant, I don't know much about him. I remember he took an event win at the games a few years ago. It was either double DT or heavy DT or one of those workouts, because I think they've done both. And I don't even know where he's from. I guess we have to start.
He's in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where in.
Yeah, I don't.
But yeah, Chandler, I was hoping he was on the bubble going into that last event, and I remember him saying that he really enjoys GHD sit-ups, and I thought for sure those cleans would not be a problem for him, because he's so strong. So I'll be curious to see sort of the video, see what happened. I'm not sure what order they went in between Travis Chandler and Noah. I was kind of hoping that I know they said whoever was in the lead in the last event, they were going to let that person go last to sort of, figure out where everyone was. And I was kind of hoping that Noah would let Chandler go last, since Noah was pretty much already in the top 5. So we'll have to catch up with those guys and see sort of what happened and what the sequence of events was there. But heartbreaking for Chandler. I mean, he's such a humble athlete. And I mean, I know he keeps saying, like, I'll slide in his DMs all the time and tell him how great he is. And he'll always respond with like yeah, but I haven't earned it. Yeah, but I haven't earned it. And it's just, who talks like that? Like, he's just a superhuman. And I wish him the best. And, I wanted him to get it so bad. So I hope this lights a fire under him and really gets him to focus. I know that he is retiring from the military February 21st. So that's going to give him an opportunity to really, if he chooses, to really double down on this CrossFit thing, and see where he can take it. So that could be all the difference for him.
Yeah. So you're on mute, Charlie.
That's good to know. Yeah, he's always said he's wanted to be 2022 was always his hashtag for years.
Yep.
So
he needs to work on some technique over the next year. And my guess is those drag rope double unders may have gotten him.
Yeah, we'll have to look at the video. I hope that he takes Coach B's advice and goes and spends some time with the burdeners for weightlifting, because we remember when we saw him in the Rogue Invitational, Coach B was, all over him and said he would love to have him as an athlete. So maybe he'll change up some things, but I'm excited for him. He's got a bright future. Just, really disappointed that he didn't get in. Bummer.
So Charlie, have you seen the final 5?
The women, yes.
Men?
Men, no, but I kind of know who it is.
Yeah, so it's Frazier, Olsen, Medeiros, Quant, and Adler.
Got it.
It's going to be an interesting few days in Aromas, California for these 10 athletes. Like, I can't picture it, what it's going to be like.
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. It was kind of slid into something Sean said today, that in the United States, live coverage on CBS for the CrossFit Games Phase 2, which awesome. I am extremely excited about, because if there's one thing about this weekend I'm really disappointed in, it's the broadcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is, for us geeks, the most exciting time of the year, and you want to see some head-to-head competition. And like I said on last night's After Dark edition of the Clydesdale Fitness and Friends, that they could have taken a couple videos, plopped them side by side on the screen. Some of those events only went a couple minutes. Mm-hmm. You're not even taking a broadcast time to let those run side by side.
Right.
Just like we did with Kat and Amy on the Awful Annie, and ran those side by side.
And Lord knows we don't have a media budget at all.
We have this guy.
Yeah. Oh, sponsor. We do have a sponsor.
We do have a sponsor.
We just got our cool gear today. Thank you very much, Dave Newman and RX Smart Gear.
Yeah. So Charlie, any thoughts?
Well, I mean, seems like, unfortunately for a lot of us, Noah's kind of the only one that could even challenge Matt. I mean, there's always been maybe Vellner, but, I mean, at least Noah's in there. I mean, he did it kind of last year for a little while, until he mentally broke down, which, kind of been his thing. But
Yeah, the names Medeiros, Quant, and Adler don't scare you
no,
if you're Matt Fraser.
no. And that's the thing. You like to see new names and faces up there, but the way Matt's performing, I mean, you've got to have a horse in there that's going to push him. Noah seems to be the one that's the closest at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be the Noah Matt show for sure in California. The ladies' side, though, might be a little different. I mean, we've got some interesting characters coming into California, and it should be. I mean, minus the Tia thing, right? If Tia comes in like she's been, she'll be fine. But the rest of these gals are going to give each other a run for their money, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Haley Adams is just
Unreal.
super impressive. I mean, I get it. You're training with Rich and you're doing all that stuff out there, but still, to be in college and performing like this is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in college, I was just lucky to be able to get out of bed
Right.
and to a class that day.
Right.
Yeah, she's got a lot going on.
Yeah, she just, 7th at the games and now top 5 at the games.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it
But
does
yeah.
help that she has an enormous support system, right? I mean, you've got
Right.
all really smart, talented people sort of at your disposal in Cookville with, Jim Hensel, her mind coach, and you've got Hinshaw in there, working with her, which her engine's great anyway. I know she and Tasia are really close, and Tasia, couldn't be more of a role model for a female athlete to keep her head on straight. So she's got a lot of
Hey,
support.
Don't forget Facundo.
Yes, and
Facundo.
Yeah, so, and Rich and the whole family. I mean, Scott, when we were there, like I told you, I wanted to live there. I wanted to
I'd move there tomorrow.
And be a part. I want to be a part of that Froning hug thing that they have going on there. It's just, it's really incredible.
Well,
and randomly, Tia and Matt just hanging out.
Yeah, they just every once in a while, throw down.
Well, and the crazy thing is when you're there, and I don't, because I was on a different team than you were, like all the people there, like hang out with Rich, like all the security guards I was working with, like, oh yeah, we go to the barn all the time. We, it's nothing to like just hang out with that crew.
Right.
Even though they're like, we're a third the athlete they are, but he still lets us come and do the workouts at the barn.
Yeah.
It was just.
Or Hillary loves it.
Yeah.
Well, you could take Lisa down there.
There you go.
She'd love it.
Yeah, sure.
I do have to say, Ralph's Donuts alone might be the reason that you want to go down there.
Well,
I mean,
I've heard that great things about that.
I would never be in ketosis again. Never again.
We have to put that as an exception to the nutrition rule.
Right. Donuts.
You get plus points if you get Ralph's Donuts.
So the last thing I want to talk about is just some people that, I'm a huge fan of Saxon, as most of you know. He's a good friend of mine. I'm a huge fan of Christy. She couldn't be, every time we go to her gym, she is the kindest, most awesome woman. And it was awesome to see Christy get a top 10 finish. There was a couple workouts in here, the row and the front squat, that really were not in her wheelhouse. And to pull off a 9th place finish, that's in the money.
Yeah.
And
281 in a front squat is not in 90% of the world's wheelhouse.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, she had a lot of wins this weekend too, so that's just great. And and she was on a team last year. I think people counted her out as an individual, and clearly, if this was a normal games where everything was in person and things like that, she'd be heading into the final day, and getting a shot.
And what are her best events? Swimming, running,
all the stuff that we
didn't get to see.
Yeah. Very. She should be. I'm sure she's very pleased with how she did. I mean, of course we wanted her to go on to the next stage, but she's got nothing to be unhappy about.
Well, and I think Saxon finished really high on the last event, like 5th maybe. which probably pulled him up into the top 20. So he finished in the money as well, which is awesome for him because, these athletes are trying to make a living. And anytime they can move into that money position, that's awesome for them. Any thoughts on other people that you saw that you root for?
Well, obviously the Sarah thing, that's kind of going to be beat to death. What happened there.
She showed up in that last event, Charlie. That's about it.
She did. But, you thought that maybe just her breakdowns at the games were just because of the event, but, you're at home and I'm really impressed with Brooke Wells. I mean, it's amazing how far she's come from just being kind of there. And now she's second.
Think about her training partner. That's kind of getting missed in all of this stuff. Who would have thought BKG would have fallen that far down?
Right. Maybe it's maybe it's what's happening in Nashville.
Yeah.
So now Street Horner is going to be number 2 in the world next year.
I was surprised with Jamie Simmons. I thought she would do a lot better. She did not have a top 10 finish the entire weekend. So I don't know if something's going on with her or what, but she surprised me. I mean, I think she was in everyone's top 5 picks just based on her past performances. So not sure what's going on there.
I do have to say it's weird. Go ahead, Charlie.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's weird that Carrie Pierce finishes in the top 5, and she didn't do as well on the handstand as I thought she would.
Right. Well, she got second.
Yeah, but Katrin, did you see that
I didn't
form?
understand it. She was just sitting there. She was standing.
That was weird.
Not moving at all.
What was Ben doing? He was had his chin on the ground, right next to her. That was weird.
He was just keeping her calm, whispering, just stay in
surprising
there, stay in the
to me-
fight. You got this.
You got it.
Sorry.
It seems like Laura Horvath has just not improved on those weaknesses, at all. We know she's one of the bigger athletes,
Not
but
even her weaknesses, Charlie. I mean, she also had one finish in the top 10 and finished dead last on Damn Diane. Oh, yeah, we know that, right?
Yeah. Her handstand hold wasn't great either.
But
she was
24th in the Nasty Nancy. She can overhead squat. So again, maybe something's going on with her.
Yeah.
We've been saying that for 18 months.
I know. Come on. She's got to figure out those handstand push-ups already.
Well, it's a weird year. Whole thing's weird.
What I find weird is, Charlie has an affection for a few of these CrossFit athletes, and they all kind of teamed up together. And the one that came out of that to move on to the next level is not one of the Charlie's athletes.
Nope.
And that was
she does have a good abs.
Your girl Danielle Brandon got 15th, middle of the pack.
Yeah.
I mean, she beat Sarah Sigmund's daughter, and Sam.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool thing to be able to say. You did.
And Beth, we knew Bethany was hurt going in.
Yeah, she hung in there. She did better than Sarah.
Yeah. There's something happening with Sarah. It's just not. She's got to stick with something. Just keep switching coaches. It's just.
I agree. She needs
consistency.
And hey, my boy Pete Shaw did not get last.
Well, that's because one person withdrew.
Hey, you're still not last.
He didn't get last. He got 29th place. I'm so proud of him. That's so cool.
Yeah, David Schrumpke could not finish.
What happened?
Not finish.
They didn't say. They just said he had to withdraw because he couldn't of an injury.
Yeah.
And then should we just talk about our boy Vellner? I mean, that was kind of a crappy weekend. I heard.
But he got hurt.
Groin or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was they said something about he pulled groin in the first event.
Oh, it happened while he was competing. That stinks.
Yeah.
And he still finished, what, 3 points or 4 points out of fifth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, his last 2 events, he was in the top 10. So it wasn't like he declined over the course of the weekend. His worst finish was the Fran workout.
Tape it up, coach.
Exactly.
Tape it, put some dirt on it.
If
Have
you've
we
ever
met
had a
our,
tape job on your groin, it is something.
It is nothing that you ever want to do. Have we met our quota of Con Porter comments yet?
We haven't
Say
even
he's
said
not
anything about him today.
There's nothing much to say about him.
I do have to say it was one of the funniest videos I saw today. Was after his row, he gets off and he's walking around the gym like Snoop Dogg in Ain't Nothing But a G Thing video, chest bumping everybody and just partying away. And then all of a sudden the adrenaline wore off and he fell to the ground going, "It hurts everywhere. It hurts everywhere."
Yeah, he had
Quite the character.
a rough weekend.
So let's look forward a little bit. We know who's going to Aromas. Let's do the super duper real early
Predictions?
pick of your top 3 for the men and the women.
I'm going to go Matt, Noah, Adler. And I'm going to say Tia, Haley, Brooke. That's half with my brain, half with my heart voting.
I'm going to go Matt, Noah, Quant,
Okay.
Tia, Haley. I don't want to be the same.
Okay, we can
I don't want to be the same. Okay, just
Do
not
it.
to be the same. Tia, Haley, Carrie.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So now we're the same.
That's okay.
Well, you only have 5 from each side to pick from.
There's only 5 people to pick from. Yeah, you're good.
Well, I'm going
guys?
Tia, Haley. But the guys, I'll go Matt, Noah, and I'm going to go with old Medeiros. Medeiros.
Mullet Man.
Mullet Man.
He seems like a good third placer.
Yeah. He's a young guy too, 21.
And we have a month before this kicks off, so we'll revisit it after we do some research. But I'm sure it's not even going to change.
Yeah. Do you think they'll announce any of the workouts in advance like they've done in the past for the games? Yeah.
I'm sure.
Only 1 year have they not announced any, and that was last year.
I just don't want any dumb hints anymore. I'm tired of the dumb hints.
Oh, you're definitely getting that. He loves it. He's too arrogant not to do that.
Annoying.
Yeah, I did watch the Armin piece about there just something feels wrong about the programming, and he can't put his finger on it.
Did I remember our text chain? As soon as the first 4 events came out, I was like, this is weird. Like, it doesn't feel gamesy.
Like I felt like it. The only thing I can put my finger on is I don't hate any of the workouts. I don't hate any of them, but what I do think is it's too short.
Yeah. There's no spanning of time domain, which is part of the whole, methodology for CrossFit.
We could have had a Sunday.
Yeah.
With a couple more events.
Yep.
And maybe just a mad chipper as one of them. So I'm going to agree with you, Kat, that it's missing a chipper.
Yeah, it definitely just doesn't seem. And I mean, someone made the comment, well, maybe Dave did this on purpose so that there would be a major shift in the leaderboard, because you've got those first 4 events on day 1 that are really like power output, sub 5, sub 4 minute workouts, coupled with, a longer workout with a couple other workouts. So, maybe there was some method to his madness, but I still am left feeling like, I don't know. It seems a little.
It's not that I hate it. I can't say I hate it. It just doesn't feel right.
Agreed.
And so I'll just leave it at that. And I think he kind of explained it as, going into this year before the blow up at CrossFit, the plan was to do named workouts in a group to do the first cut.
Right. Yeah.
And
Like
I think what they did is they took that and moved it forward to this format.
You're probably right.
Because they didn't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely, though, I will go back and say, I had said before that, like, this year, if they do try to do it, and if it's online, there's only 5 people, like, that it doesn't, in my mind, it's sort of, there's an asterisk there and it doesn't count, but I'm all in now. Like, if you win, you deserve it. You got it. Like,
I mean, listen, no one was going to be mad anyway.
because I really hope that the competition in Aromas and the events are just like off the hook, crazy hard.
When you only have 5 people, the coverage should be out of this world.
Yeah, they should be. And he said live, right? So we're going to get to see like the whole day live. That would be great, because the produced shit that they do where they just like cut to the 3 people that win, I don't like that. That's not for us, like, super.
I don't know that it'll be live.
They said live. I'm hoping that that's what it is, because again, I don't like
So my guess is that the weekend and the end of it will be live on CBS on the weekend.
Right.
The other stuff we're going to get on CBS Sportsnet.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. So actually, I'm very envious of Charlie sitting outside under the tree in the shade on this beautiful day, because here it is, like, it couldn't be a better day.
Is it nice? Yeah.
It's probably a hoodie night, but it's a beautiful day.
Yeah, it's good right now. Soon it won't be. It'll be too cold for this.
Yeah. But
well, we'll let you guys enjoy your evening then. I think we're good.
Yeah. Well, thanks for jumping on. This is another special edition of Clydesdale After Dark.
Coffee.
She says coffee, but it's vodka. She just hides it in a coffee
Straight
mug.
up.
You guys are making me out to be such an alcoholic.
Straight bourbon.
We don't make anything. We just report the news.
Right.
Yep.
Well, with that, if you liked what you heard, comment. To our friend Jacqueline, who woke up this morning and she said it wasn't after dark, so she cheered us with a coffee mug.
Love it. Thanks.
Cheers to her, back to her. Hopefully she sees this one tonight. But if not, tomorrow morning, grab your cup of coffee. Cheers with that. And we'll see you next time on the Clydesdale Fitness and Friends.
See ya.